And we're good. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is David Andrew. I'm super excited to share a story with you guys today. Thank you so much for coming on the show, David.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Nice. David is a transformational coach, mentor, and speaker. And, people often tell him that he inspires, motivates, and speaks word of wisdom when he's speaking with them. And they can feel a sense of positivity and authenticity when speaking and having conversations with them. You know, Thank you so much just for making time today. I know that we had some scheduling things that happened, but I appreciate you making some time for us today.
My pleasure.
Excellent. Now, before we get started, for those watching, if you're watching this from any other location outside of our free community, I just want to personally invite you to come and join us inside of our community because we come inside and we inspire each other every day to improve, really live our best life. So if that's what you've been searching for, come and join us by clicking the link either above or below the video. Now, David, what was life like before you got into coaching, and what was really the catalyst that brought you into the field and into the space?
Well, before I got into coaching, I was an employee for a very large government, local council, which had over about 50,000 employees, and I worked for them for nearly 26 years as a business development officer, which included marketing, advertising, sales, income generation. So that's my background. Yeah. But what got me into coaching was I had challenges in my life that took me to a rock bottom in my life, really, to the point where I almost became homeless and practically suicidal at the same time. But things began to turn around because I decided to change my lifestyle, basically, and that was through a process which I called "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." So I thought in order to transform into a person that I would like to be, I need to start changing the way I think. And that was a process in itself. And it took me literally over 5 to 6 years at least to get to that point where I was making small steps every single day very diligently. And I changed 23 habits in my life. That's to be very precise, because you need to actually diagnose what's causing you the problem, what the root causes are for your life, basically, that causes you the problem. So discovering those root causes takes time, and when you discover them, to change them, it takes further time.
Mm.
So it's almost like a process that I went through on a journey, basically on a more like a spiritual quest, like a spiritual journey about finding who really I am as a person rather than what I've been made through a construction of beliefs and culture and tradition and influences. I wanted to sort of change a lot of things that were not working for me. And that kind of transited me into becoming a coach. And I realized that many people need this kind of help because they don't know what their real problems are. They are trying to solve their primary problems with secondary solutions. See, there is a primary problem, but you solve that with secondary solutions, like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit down today, or I'm not happy, I had a stressful day at work, or my relationships aren't working. So what should I do? Or maybe I'll open a glass of bottle of wine, or go out with my friends, go to the pubs, go to this and do that. And you do get temporal relief from your problems at that time, but the problem actually is not gone away, it's still there
Yeah.
until something happens again, you see. So there are a lot of triggers that causes people to actually become stressful or become anxious or become worried, which has an impact on their relationships, on their physical and mental health. And people kind of just carry on because they have some good days and they have bad days and they have good days and some bad days and more bad days and some good days. So it's like, up and down. So there's no real answer to their problem of actually helping them. So I thought if I could change my life, through going through a particular process, I can help so many people who actually are in the same situation. And they are looking for instant gratification
Mm-hmm.
instead of long-term satisfaction. And I was a person at those days who was looking for instant gratification, instantly solving my problems, instantly trying to do this, but never really dealing with the root core issues, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So that got me into becoming the transformational coach that I'm today. And I believe I have the experience, I have the expertise, and I have the qualification. If somebody wants to see, if I'm qualified to coach, but I am. But more than that, I understand and I have empathy with people who are facing those challenges. So that makes me a coach that I really enjoy being one.
Yeah. So you said there's 23 different habits that you were able to really reverse and eradicate from your life. Now, let's say that someone doesn't even know what they're struggling with. Like you're saying, it's either unconscious. What can they start to do to become aware of the different root causes?
You see, it's a great question. What can they do? A lot of the time, Bryce, people think that they are doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They think that they're doing the right thing because their friends are doing it, or maybe somebody's telling them, hey, you know what, maybe you should try this. And some people will take that on board and go ahead and do it. But what I realized and what my experience told me was that there is no sustainability to that thing, what you start on. Sustaining something is more important than starting on something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you're going to start on something, you need the mindset tools and a deep sense of awareness and emotional intelligence, which we hear a lot about, of how to apply those on a day-to-day basis till you become stronger every day. It's like going to the gym. You don't get those big muscles. I can see a lot of guitars in your background. I play a little bit of bass guitar myself, and I'm a drummer, and I'm a percussion player. So you don't become a good guitar player in 2 or 3 days' time. You might learn a few chords. I know with 3 chords, you can play hundreds of songs, right? But to be a good guitarist, there's a lot more than learning the 3 chords.
Yeah.
And so life is the same way. When you really want to bring a change, you need someone to be accountable to that, who you can talk to. People will go and listen to messages, go on YouTube, listen to inspirational speakers. And at that moment in time, they do get inspired when they're listening to somebody. But they are not really accountable to anyone to see if things are working for them. So people will start something and they will struggle, and the struggle gets too difficult for them. A lot of barriers come into place, opposition from family members or job, or there isn't enough time. People tend to let it go because everybody returns back to the default position. The default position becomes like a comfort blanket for a lot of people. And they say, you know what, hey, this is life. This is life. Yeah, it is life. You can describe life the way you want to describe it. But if it's not getting you where you really want to be, then something is missing.
Yeah.
And what a coach does, a great coach, a good coach, an empathetic coach will say, hey, listen, man, I've got your back. Don't worry. You know what? Together, we're on a journey together. Let me just help you along the way. You make all the decisions. You choose the destination where you want to go. I'll be like a little sat nav in your car and just say, hey, you know what? There's a traffic. There's this. There is this. You know what? And then you make a decision, because the person who wants to change their life, they are in control at the end of the day. They are in the driver's seat. The coach only sort of say, you know what, look, let's talk about this. What other options would you consider? So a coach is a great way to actually accomplish or achieve the goals that you set out. Like you might be a self-taught musician, right?
Mm.
But you know for yourself how many hours of practice you must have done, right? Or you say, you know what, I can't do it. I need a teacher. I need to go to a teacher who can help me to take my game to the next level. And often that is one of the reasons athletes need coaches. You never hear about the coach ever when an athlete gets a gold medal. You don't know who, but they all have coaches. All the top successful entrepreneurs in this world, including like people like maybe Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or Richard Branson and many others, they all have coaches and trainers and consultants that they talk to. You see, but that's where you hold an accountability factor. When you're accountable to no one, you're basically driving the boat. You have crashes. Some crashes you can recover from, others you might not. And that's the risk we all are taking, you see, because we all are adults, right? We are not kids anymore. Anybody over 18 is classed as adult in the UK, So we are adults. We can make our own decisions, of course. But it's not the decision that you've made. It's what happens after you've made that decision. A coach can just be a sounding board you can talk to. Look, I'm deciding to do this. What do you think, coach? What are your thoughts? A good coach with experience, like I have, is in a position to say, you know what? I understand what you're doing. I know what you're trying to achieve. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? It's more like deeper questions to search yourself. Mm. Because we want results tomorrow, right? We want results tomorrow. And sometimes those results, what you get tomorrow, might not be able to sustain you for the next year or so, Mm. So that is one of the reasons I believe coaching is such a powerful tool that many people don't understand the power behind it.
Yeah. Where can people go to learn more about you? Where can they go to connect with you further?
Oh, they can just look me up on Google, on Siri, just saying davidandrewcoaching.com. And they can also find me on LinkedIn as David Andrew Coaching. I've got a Facebook page. I've got an Instagram page. I've got a Twitter page, all under David Andrew Coaching. So my name is David Andrew. I'm a transformational coach. And what I do is I help people on a transformational journey by throwing light into the darkness.
Nice.
So we work on purpose, values, and vision. If you don't have those three aligned in your thinking and where you're going, it'll be like ad hoc. And people will try it for a short time and they'll give it up and say, I'll try something new. Hey, it's good to try something new, but do you know why you're trying something new and you left the old one behind? So this is something a coach can come and help people.
I really appreciate you for your time today. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. For those watching, once again, if you are looking for a place where people are improving themselves and helping others do the same, people just like David who are improving themselves and, adding better habits to their life, I recommend you go and join us inside of our free community by clicking the link either above or below. Now, hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed making it. Now, feel free to hit that share button so other people can get some great value as well. Have a great day, guys. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1 and